Rotational power cuts make a comeback in some parts of Joburg. The MK party is throwing its toys out of the cot, and another tragic mass murder in Khayelitsha. Hi there, I'm Sifiso Zulu.
This is Eyewitness News.
While most people in the country continue to enjoy having electricity in the absence of load shedding, some Joburg residents have been dealt a blow because they will experience power cuts in a form of load reduction. Joburg City Power says its systems have come under massive strains over the past few days. So from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., high-density areas will be without power.
Electricity consumption in the city of Johannesburg has really reached critical levels, forcing the city power to basically embark on stringent measures to protect the grid from the total collapse. These measures include intensifying the implementation of ripple relay systems to basically ensure that we cut off electricity to Gizas in hopes where the system is under threat and where reducing load at substation with higher consumption and those that are really under the threat, and also intensifying cut-off operations in illegal connections, especially in the informal settlements where electricity theft is really rife.
One of the most common suggestions to save power is turning off your Giza when it's not in use. But just how effective this actually is has been a topic of debate. The general consensus among experts is that while installing a timer which automatically switches your Giza off and back on again can potentially cut your usage, doing it manually won't achieve the desired result. As electricity-saving expert Craig Berman explains, this is because people often forget to switch it back on until it's cooled down to such an extent that heating it up again takes a massive amount of power. Independent energy analyst Clyde Mallinson also says that switching your Giza back on in the early evening, when most people get home from work, is the worst time for the grid, because this is when demand is peaking. What the experts do suggest, aside from automatic timers, are Giza blankets, which work to keep the water in your Giza hotter for longer, better home insulation, and simply dressing for the weather. Bernadette Wicks, Eyewitness News.
The preparations are afoot for the first sitting of Parliament following a dramatic general election. But there could be more drama, as the MK party says not on its watch will this process go ahead. Former President Jacob Zuma's party, which is now the third biggest in the country, instructed its lawyers to file papers in the highest court in the country to prevent the swearing in of National Assembly members. It says there are many unresolved irregularities regarding the recent elections.
Our lawyers have been hard at work since last week, gathering evidence not only from our end, but also on other political parties. And those papers that will also come in the form of the evidence that will be presented to the Constitutional Court. We're filing directly with the Constitutional Court to raise these concerns.
In light of the MK party's express decision through their legal representatives not to attend the first sittings, Parliament has cancelled all arrangements for accommodation and flights for the party's elected members. This measure is to avoid incurring fruitless and wasteful expenditure.
Political campaigning season is over and the posters must go. Parties have until Wednesday to remove them in Joburg. The city's bylaws indicate that campaign material must be taken down within 14 days of the announcement of election results. There is a 500 Rand fine for each unremoved poster.
Notify the relevant party to remove the posters within a time period specified, failing which the council may remove the posters itself against a prescribed fee.
A horrible weekend for the community of Site C in Khayelitsha, where 3 children and 1 adult were shot and killed. What was meant to be a normal Saturday of getting a haircut turned out to be a bloody day. The gunman entered a barbershop and opened fire at the occupants before fleeing the premises. The youngest victim was 4 years old.
This murderous incident is horrific and angers me deeply, particularly with the number of young people senselessly murdered and wounded. These heartless criminals have absolutely no regard for life. We need to ensure that they are swiftly arrested. Life should never be this cheap.
And French President Emmanuel Macron has surprisingly called a snap parliamentary election. This comes after the leader of the far-right national rally, Marine Le Pen's victory in the European parliamentary elections. This was his reason for calling the snap vote.
C'est pourquoi Après avoir procédé aux consultations prévues à l'article 12 de notre Constitution, j'ai décidé de vous redonner le choix de notre avenir parlementaire par le vote. Je dissous donc ce soir l'Assemblée nationale. Je signerai dans quelques instants le décret de convocation des élections législatives qui se tiendront le 30 juin pour le premier tour et le 7 juillet pour le second.
And that's it from us today. For more, you can go to ewn.co.za, download the EWN app and the Prime Meter Plus app. Thank you for watching.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.